Good afternoon, everyone. Another week done, coming closer to Christmas, and again it's been another very, very volatile week, especially with the ECB yesterday now providing new measures, new 2 and 3 year LTROs, and but what they didn't do is say that they're willing to continue their bond buying program, and that has basically caused a massive, the massive move down in the euro that we had yesterday, and the move down in the stocks that we had after initial optimism given the measures that they put in place. So, but today, as is always the case, it's just rebounded it, and we've just been chopping and churning in these sort of big ranges, but these certain levels that we've been going over for the last few weeks just keep on holding time and time again. And if you just look at the Bund right now, and where it's having resistance is 135.34, which was the place where it actually had support last time. It's where it had support last time is where it's having, where it had resistance last time is where it's having support now. So if I just bring up a chart of that Bund, bear in mind, this is actually a rollover Bund. So we were looking at Deck 12 before, Deck 11, and now we're looking at March 12. So, the figures and all of that have slightly changed compared to what they were before. But this is a 60-minute chart, and if we look at it, this was the big downtrend we had from 139.34 all the way down to 132.88, and since then we've actually come back up. But as you can see, the range is getting bigger and bigger as the volatility is increasing, and right now we've been bouncing off this top and upper and lower trend line quite well, although we've had a couple of breakouts of it, but then it came back into the trend, and it's been bouncing off this line quite a lot over the last week, and then we sort of pushed up again right to the top, bounced perfectly, and now we're sitting right at the bottom of the range again. And as you can see, this also coincides with the 38.2 Fibonacci level that we have on this whole move down that we've this 600-point move down that we've had. So we're sitting at the 38.2 fib level, as well as sitting on the edge on this lower trend line. So seems like if we're going to break out again out of this range, I guess we're looking at 134.14. It's where we can go. That's the sort of levels that I'm looking at. But if we bounce, then the first stop is 136.10, which is the 50 Fibonacci, and then up to the 61.8, which is 136.86, until we get pretty much the top of the big channel we've had back at 137.95. So this is it's a very interesting point right now where the Bund's at, and as we go into next week and liquidity and volume start to drain and go down, we might see a lot more freakish moves, as lower volume can just cause spikes here and there. And so this is what we're looking at. If we look on a 1 minute chart, as you can see, we're just in a downtrend the whole of since actually yesterday's since the whole day really. We've actually been in a quite big downtrend. The Bund's down 140 pips today, and from about 2:30 today, as soon as the market opened in the US, we've just pretty much come off a good 100 ticks, just in a straight line, as the markets have been rallying. And now we're just sitting at this level, this 38.2 60-minute retracement level. We're just hovering around there, and we're petering out, so we might get a little dink above or below, but at this current moment I can't really see much of a move happening until we start again on Monday, especially with possible up and coming announcements over the weekend through this EU summit. So that's something to look forward to on Monday. But so this is what I'm looking at in Bund. Do a quick look at the Ftse right now, just quickly go over it. On a 60-minute, well, we had the bounce off the 50.72 that we mentioned last week, and since then we've actually gone up. If I go on a bigger chart, on a 120-minute, we've actually touched the 56.35, which is the previous high from about a month ago, and we touched that and we bounced off again. So, as you can see, it looks like just a big head and shoulders that's forming here, and inverse head and shoulders anyway. So as you can see, shoulder here, forming of another shoulder here, and if we bounced off here, we continue higher and we break this 56.35, then that'll complete this pattern on a 120-minute chart. So a lot of volatility here, a lot of big moves, but since this move up, we have sort of consolidated, as you can see. Go back to 60 minutes. You can see we've just been playing in this 100-point range for the last few days. Neither here nor there. We had a little breakout and then sort of bounced off the 38.2 retracement level that we actually have on this move up on the 60-minute from 50.73 to 56.32. So on that, the 38.2, we bounced to the tick, pretty much traded to the tick on that retracement level, and some work, some don't, but this one worked very well. And 56.14, and we bounced off, and now we're heading back into this range that we had. And I guess again, just like the Bund, I would expect to just see it peter sideways until Monday, especially unless any more news comes out from the EU summit. And if we just go on a 1 minute, as you can see, we're just sort of playing in this 40-point range now from the afternoon, and now we're just sort of getting even smaller. It's in about 13-tick range. And normally the last hour of trading in the US is when you get the final move, whether it be up or down. So that's the Ftse and the Bund right now. Next Friday we actually have triple witching, so all the equities will be rolling over as well. Bund, as you can see, just sitting on this 134, and it'll probably dip a bit lower if these equities continue to go up, but for now it's probably just going to hang around there, just find support. And I just want to go over the actual Euribor spreads. And this week actually started off quite well for me, but as the days have gone on, especially from yesterday's, we just had a big drop off in all the spreads, and it's been quite violent and without really much of a pullback. And I'll show you what I mean when I say that. So if I just look at this, the March 13, June 13 spread, if I 60-minute it, okay, like a bit of a misprint there, but as I bring this up, see, we've been trading eights, and we've been trading around this level for quite a bit of time, but as you can see, it's just been gradual moves up, gradual moves down. But yesterday it was going long eights, just went 7.5, 7, 6.5, and then it actually it gave you some sixes this morning as well, and I just pretty much average all the way down, and eventually scratched the whole thing at 6.5. But lo and behold, it did bounce, and it was my mistake, that one, because if I look further back, 6 was the previous support that we had in this spread before as well, and it sort of went there and it bounced off quite nicely. So it's done the same thing this time, and again, depending on what happened in Europe, but again, we can probably see another nice bounce back up to at least the previous range, back up to 9s. So that's probably what we can look for this particular spread, and this sort of happened along the whole curve. In the deck March 13, it's another really quite a brutal one. If we look at the 60-minute again, we've been trading 5s, 6s, 6.5s, as you can see in this chart. The range for a lot of the time was 5s to 6s, and we were even trading 8.5s a bit of time back, 7s, and then yesterday trading 5.5s, 5.5s, 5s, and bam, it just went down, and this morning it continued and it went as low as 3s, and it actually went free off it quite a bit, and you could have even legged up some 2.5s. That's how much it moved down, and lo and behold, it has bounced back, but it hasn't bounced back that much. It's still only at 3.5, and still being a bit of a brutal move. It's definitely been a bit of brutal moves in these Euribors, and it's making me a bit wary coming into Christmas if these are the type of moves you're going to get, because it's not giving really much opportunity for you to get out. Normally when the Euribor moves down, you can at least get out for a half a tick before it continues going down, but it just hasn't been going down or anything like that. So it's just been very, very, very tough this last couple of days, and today I had to take a bit of a loss, but it could have been worse, I guess, if I didn't have the averaging firepower. But anyway, so yeah, that's really that, and so hopefully next week it'll sort of start ranging a bit better again, and hopefully just nick a bit out of it and what till we get to the holidays, and then I'll probably just stop for the year and start again next year. But yeah, that's the wrap for today. Good luck for next week, and I'll leave you the summary right now from the Ftse and the Bund.